Noon, we're gonna be there.
Yeah. All right, everybody, welcome to Carry On at Cush. Open mic poetry. Live on YouTube. Welcome everyone out there. We are going to have a little change. There's a different MC tonight. That would be me. I'm our normal MC. Kit has taken a vacation of 2 weeks. So we're all good with poets. We've got plenty of poets. We've got a mic that's a little hot, so I think the poets are going to have to watch out. This mic is more of a directional sound mic, so you might want to watch out. Okay. So for those of you that are new to Carry On at Cush, we have a 7-minute limit to your poetry, and anything over 7 minutes, you will be asked to stop in the middle of your day, which is no fun. So try to keep it under 7. And let me see what else I'm thinking of here I'm missing as an MC. Probably not a whole bunch. Well, yeah, there's one thing. If you're new and you haven't read, you want to get up here and you want to read like no one's out there, because it doesn't matter who's listening to your poetry and who cares what your poetry is doing, or if it's any good or it's not good enough, or whoever you're behind or who's ever coming up or anything. Forget all that. What you want to do is bring it 100% so that we can see what you're about in your poetry. And because we don't care here how good your poetry is. Okay, check this out, right? The bottom line on this is simple. This is not a poetry slam. It's not a poetry competition. It's not whose poetry is better, or whose poetry is poetic, or any of that. As a matter of fact, if you can come up here and fry an egg on this stage and make it look like poetry, you're good. So, I thought I'd open up tonight with an old poem. And bear with me for a second, because this mic's here too hot.
Yeah.
Physically hot?
No, it's.
Or is it just like, woo, that's a hot night?
Sound check, sound check. I think that's a little better. It's not jumping back at me. Okay. An older poem. That doesn't mean the poem's old.
Just as kiddish.
Doesn't mean I'm old.
No, you're not.
What it means is that I wrote this poem a long time ago, which is maybe taking a little bit of a risk. Because when we look back at our old poetry, we're like, I wrote that? Seriously? Okay, but here's the thing. If I was scared about how my poetry was, and if I worried about what you thought about my poetry, that I shouldn't be it. So I don't, and I'm not. Leaves fall from the trees in grace. Shaken into submission, relieved of duty, scattered upon the earth, they go into retrograde. The spirit of me lies dormant under their blanket, waiting in universal time, appropriate to the beginning, sensing an awakening. I revel in the mastery of tradition, longing to be part of the play, dance within the inner reaction. Assimilated into the next generation, I stumble to get my legs under me, and as I walk into the world of light and night alone, I wondered that when I lay dormant under winter's blanket. Was she a phantom? An allegory of my desire to possess? To breach the void, allowing nothing to stay the same. I surrender mine, knowing the leaves of that was. New eyes grown from the ashes creation. What dreams the universe spawns in between when and then. As I summons my spirit to exist, new, my promise stays intact, genuine. I am not to ask, but instead to receive, braced as the leaves, to be shaken. In the end, the leaves are due. All right, in case you guys couldn't tell, I didn't do it for woman. So, let's see. We don't have a number one. Oh no, I'm going to have to bump the whole thing up. Somebody was scared to go first. No, wait. Yeah. It was me. I went first.
You're number one.
Number one.
All right, so we're going to bring up our next poet. And Kevin's, Kevin, you've read here before, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Kevin's
Hashtag.
and
I think we're going to have.
smart notable insight.
And then number 2's on.
Wow, way to make me feel bad. I don't know.
You will.
Okay? Let's leave it on the stand.
All right.
Is it a good height?
Coming on day 4 of Peyote Vision Quest. Hallucinating visions are gone. I'm just amazed at everything. Idling along, being amazed. Saw the top of the Arctic Circle arch from the distance. Got excited and punched it. Made it up to 28 miles an hour when the engine quit. Coasted to a stop. No. Still moving. Picking up speed. Went under the arch. A wide expanse of gravel to the right of the roadway had a Cessna parked on it. The pilot waved me on. As I crested the scarp, I saw the camp. Hashtag wasn't there a week ago. A steep S-curve down to a steel bridge. Load leveling suspension had the car squat instead of tilting. Tires just slid together. Hugging the right guardrail, I rolled on to the turnout, coasted upside a cargo box, and chilled. A scent got my attention. Followed it to the cook tent. A week without food, I'm almost panting and drooling as I entered. The gals took one look, motherhood kicked in, milk first, small bites, eat slow, chew. They decided when I was full. Chewed me out, back to the car. Back seat was already set for sleeping, crashed. Woke many hours later to a wicked whiz. While that was going on, a bear lumbered into view, punched square the cook tent, rose up and tore into it. Zipping up, I got the pan. Gals in the danger, got to act. my soul whelmed my mind as I headed for the bear. To give her a heads up that there's no bear stuff here. Arriving at flight speed, planting my right foot, swinging my left hard into her haunch. She shuddered from the blow as I took a half step back, yelling and swinging my arms. She rose slightly from the tent. I locked on her right eye and froze, hands in touchdown position. A moment ensued. She gathered herself and stood up. I followed that eye high above my fingertips. A long moment. I had to blink. A thought intruded. Geez, what am I doing here? I gotta go. My fear triggered the heads up. She turned, landed on all fours, farted in my face, and lumbered off. Hashtag bear style of a two-finger salute. Coughing, and I backed away from the stench. The crew came running up, 8 of them, whooping and hollering. Heard the boss man say, "Don't talk to him." Hashtag, realizing what I'd done, a shock started kicking in. Please walk up, kick the bear. Well, the boss man squeezed my shoulder. It's okay. And he barks orders to his people. Get the plane, shoot the bear, change his tires. I looked around, sure enough, I'd flattened 2 tires across, scraping the side of the bridge. I watched the plane fly over 50 feet, shoot the bear with tranquilizers, look around, and they're pushing my car to the fuel truck. Boss man himself climbs up to fill the 4 cans on the roof rack. Climbs down. As he's filling the tank on my car, they're strapping the tires back on the roof rack. Just having that ratchet strap. That was okay. But then the women came out. I put 10 pounds of food, a liter of juice, and a thermos of hot tea on the back seat. Boss man opens car door and gestures to me. I amble over trying to comprehend what's going on. He's mumbling, "How am I going to account for this?" Looks me straight in the eye, clearly in a plaintive tone. "I'm not allowed to help Americans. You have to go now." I did. All right. Came to the end of my life rope and was lassoed back to the living. Became mindless, so my body could tap into the energy flowing by. Distracted my mind with visions to stay at it idle. At the end of my possibilities, I coasted into a new life. Kicking the bear got the boss man to suspend the rules. Hashtag reverent looks, too. Tune in to Cush next week for more amazing stories. And from my heart, work on a nice day. Namaste.
We gotta check something out here. I've been listening to Kevin for a while, and I love his work. Overall, you guys an elder, we need to listen anyway. But not at all. But this, I don't know about you guys, but the hashtag thing, I was curious. Right? I went to ask.com. Right? Hashtag, what are hashtags? If you're a user of Twitter website, you have probably already noticed the hashtags and tweets. Hashtags are words which start with the hash symbol or number. They allow Twitter users to categorize their own beliefs, tweets, and search for past tweets about more. There you go. Hashtag. Good job.
The way I read hashtags is to make a point. When you want to take something out of context of what you're saying and give it a hashtag, people will know it's something outside and just take it for what it is. That's how I try to make my hashtags. complete thoughts in and of themselves, but not necessarily concurrent.
I didn't say hashtag, and I smoked a lot of hash. Okay, you guys just-
You got any with you?
The poetic hashtag.
Good job. Kevin, let's have another round of applause for Kevin. As you can see, we accommodate all poets on this stage. And the next poet that we're going to accommodate is, without question, one of our most beautiful poets. And that's not just
That's
in the
Andrew.
word.
Yes,
And I
Andrew.
want to welcome Candace up to the stage.
A little shorter than the other poets. Can you guys still hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the title of this one's still in process. I wrote this at 3 a.m. on a road trip. So far, the working title is called Accidentally Offensive. What poetic phrases can I form from this day that I am doomed to today? There's nothing that I hear from the driver's seat from the lips of my mother as she sips her soda, and my sister in the back beats down on her phone with her thumbs. There's an out for everything I say. For everything I say sarcastically, and unleash my dismay at the idea that an application can be expected to be accepted as another human being's thoughts and interpretations of inner insights. A voice in my head chimes in, ladies and gentlemen, are you tired of getting one good thought in your brain and having it sit there without the words to properly express the tremendous turmoil you're facing trying to articulate it to others? Well, stop your bitching and look no longer, because help has arrived with a new pocket poet. How does it work? In accurately word for you every feeling of admiration and fascination you spontaneously feel from your daily living? Well, I'm glad you asked. Here is how it is done. You simply pick a topic from a carefully considered categorization of concepts and choose from those what emotion you wish to express with your poetry and perpetuating aspirations. See, as Erica here picks to write a poem about her blockhead brother Pete, contemplating and wishing to explain through artistic creation how pissed she is that he said that she had looked portly in her prom picture. With just a pound of the generate key, Erica has produced a poem proclaiming her position that she can now share with her friends and family, the ferocity fabricated by the press of a button. What an astounding application! And the best part is, it's free to download on your mobile device. Yes, free. Not a penny of your hard-earned cash. All it takes is your time and a lack of self-respect for you and the work that poets do as an affirmation of their community and daily lives. So what are you waiting for? Download it today.
There you go, Candace. Awesome. Let's have one more round of applause for Candace. Okay, so tonight we have a mic stand that's probably has a life of its own. It's kind of like it needs some Viagra.
I can't really hear
That
you.
mic stand reminds me of
Can't hear you very well.
Yeah, I know. We're having mic issues,
Everybody's all touching
kind
the mic
of,
stand.
and we're going to remedy that, kind of. Because the truth is it's not about being up in front of the mic. It's about having a good mic to be up in front of.
That was pretty clever.
No, I'm not. So you want to play that?
Yeah, peyote. I did it. What's your name? The TV meeting. I helped them. Yeah, I helped them set up the fucking TV and everything. If you're ever gonna like have straight peyote, do it out in the country. Go out and fucking look at the stars. It's crazy. Trying to take a
Alrighty. Technical malfunction. We had a directional mic which wasn't really going to work, and now we have a vocal mic that really could. So I just want to let you know that my work.
I don't care. I'm loud enough.
Okay, so the mic's hot. The stage is hot.
Alright.
The weather is not. And that's right. I'll call it. Listen, Candace was awesome, but Stephen Blue's coming up to rock the stage. Now, Stephen Blue, let's do it.
Steven! You say I want that.
He said I want that.
Actually, apps kind of like that.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
Fucking
That's why I called it absolute accident.
Yeah, Candace, I want that out. All right, so this is almost exactly 7 minutes, so please hold your generous applause until I am completely finished.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
I
Don't
call
tell
this
them to
type
time it.
I call this type of poetry free-form jazz. There is no story here except what might come in your own imagination.
Starting now.
Okay, it is more about the sounds of the words and how they play together when they bump up against each other. Stick people on parade, shaded glass, meandering through the woods of my dreamscape. Faded memories parade past like sparkles on butterflies, not easy to grasp. Love me into a silhouette, enamored causeways barely break the daylight, as a sleight of hand is money made on cloudy, rainy days for the stick people. The Jack of Diamonds is your card. He's the one you smile for, longing all the while for. Fill the bottle to the top, blow it like a lollipop. Let it fly like golden eagles, needle it with newborn delight. Send in the nurses to discover what is wrong today. Do you think you will recover any other way from the stick people on parade? Broken hearts on the rebound, broken dreams long to be found. Break the cycle if you mean it, send it round the river sound. Not to be forgotten, not to demean it, just to never again repeat it. Unable to feel the tube, slide me down fast. No matter what happens, the labor won't last. The stick people grasp it, they'll just blast it with a gasp of air, they declare it. Sometimes you've got to just let go and move on. Other times a word or two might feel strong. It's the cornerstone of conversation, connection of concern. No matter what, just do your best. There's always more to learn. When potential strikes a chord, wrap it up and take it. Stick people battle for their place in line, feel like they're in an audition to make it. But it's just their disguise to be wise. Don't let it be your demise. Shake it if you can, and you will understand. Stick people do not attend to your demand. The outer ether sonic world is break your mode create. Are there really other existence modes that we can only access in our dream state? Can we really delineate the anguloscopic modular plate in order to create a more sonic groove that our senses and ears only begin to move? 24 stations of modular plate. It's the chill down, baby, that allows us to create in the quietest mode when you cannot berate the inside, the outside, the phonetic elate. You can almost taste the electrons as they go down. Dancing on the sea of solemnity, incendiary thoughts of painful display in wordplay describe the outside of the inner circle, mad. The spice of spiritual insincerity, intuitive in such a manner, dividing the salacious signature of adorable gratification. Is this a sliding scale? Does it ever spring up to the other side of silence? What does it encourage in the grand scheme of desire? What is the ever-prescient quality of acknowledgement, bringing to surface the radical procurement of the absent medallion of reliance? The very scope of bewilderment attains a smudge of consternation, or is it the smidgen of mundane texture, riding on the fence of inquisitiveness in the small but quaint acquiescence of your temptation? Reflections of softness, boxed in a bash, circles now broken, bound to make hash. Smoke it, drink it, work it in a shoe, walk it in a shoe. Tiptoe it softly, it's the least you can do. Save but don't spare it, recline till it folds. All this audacity breaks all the molds. Can you compare it to anything sound? Reverse declare it, hell-bent, unbound. You know you can relish it straight till you drop. Finesse it and quiver from bottom to top. You slip down in passion, encumber it all. Amaze me and faze me, your hunger won't fall. Do my words arouse you, confuse you, conspire you to desire? Define you, incline you, what do they inspire? Bookmaker, bookmaker, bind me a song. Find me a few shots that I can prolong. Bring them in bunches, coddle it close. Slither me slowly till I overdose. Green stripe, puffy gray down, pedestal show shiny. Curve the pouring water
so the light shine cleans the grimy. Ruffled ridges pull me down, framed with naughty sea. Time ticks on, the lost reflection, razor sharp degree. Unclock the longing rails that sing, switch it to the blue. Turn the handle, automatic, break it if you knew. Circles hanging, halfway open, almost folded dry. Pop the crinkled noise receptor, scrape a hole in the sky. Weight is relative, stand on the charge, squirt bristling particles, small and large. Bring them by softness, bang them by softness, colors galore, drape them so gently cover the floor. Strike the flame internal cove, blue-scented butterflies lost in the grove. Boxes and baskets, both under cover, turn up the rain that you soon will discover. Close it up neatly, sit down and sing, pull it up slowly to the warmth it will bring. Fleeting fleet flurries that land on the loom have no precision for the bright and gloom. Stop it before it crackles, nip it before it buds. Silken mist of knee-highs, stroke them with the studs. Do you wish to ponder when it's said and done all the roles that sally forth under the midnight sun? Foxes long in senses, crystals in cement. Can you hear through all the clutter valiant words I've sent? If there is a message, sing it sweet down low, just so I can blow it louder than the blue beyond will know. Stagnant curl, boulder treatment, sticks in a stall, waiting for will call. Stored electric craftsman, or a limited part of it all. Locked up in danger, warning to a stranger, important state of closure hinges on the lower disposer. Buckles of old made from false gold, found on a Father's Day famine. Later in school, played on a fool who took the day off to go clamming. It's a delicate attraction that almost always matters until the abstract painter throws it and it splatters. Screw it to the horseshoe, roll it on the phone, wipe it till it's chemically clean, reveal the parts unknown. It's ever-flown cinder of the mind blender whose own roots were sown in the ozone. It was called on the palate to please you, and in the end, it is only to tease you.
Oh, 6 minutes and 18 seconds. That was awesome. I'd be scared I was going to have to come up and get the hook out. All right. So let's have another hand for Stephen. That was everyone familiar with Stephen's poetry, he has the tendency to use rhythms and cadences and things that are more organically grounded, drum and stuff. And tonight he just totally went out of the box and railed some at us. And if you were listening, you heard it, and the parts of it that you liked, you like it. And to me, it just shows that if we're willing to get up here and stretch our boundaries and change our genres and whatever we got to do to rock the crowd. When you do your poetry, you're done. It's not yours anymore. It's theirs who are out there. And that's the way it's supposed to be. So keep that in mind when you rail at something.
Well said.
And Octavio Paz said that, by the way. If you guys know anything about poetry, he's a Latin poet. For some reason, Latin poets happen to be one of the best poets in the world. Now, what's up with that? There's something else they do well, too, supposedly. I wouldn't know. Wouldn't know anything about that. I'm not Latin. Okay, let's see. That was. Here we go. You know, this is so cool. An elder, a gal, an elder, a youngster. Boom. We got it signed up for a balance tonight. I'm absolutely loving that. The next person up is Brian. Have you read here before?
I have not.
Oh, we have. How awesome. Let's all give him all the support that he's going to need, which absolutely doesn't have to be any, because he's getting up here to do his deal. And he's got 7 minutes to do it. Rock us out.
Dude, I have that shirt. I have that exact shirt.
All right. Who wants to do some math?
No.
Oh, fuck me. I'm in a room full of poets, writers. You probably couldn't run fast enough from a quadratic equation, the theorems of Pythagoras. Well, the math found you. It always will. Don't worry, don't tune out. I tame variables on the daily. You ain't the first math-phobic folk I've encountered, not even the first today. Truth of the matter is, you're taught to fear that third R. Then you're excused when you do. Oh, you're just not a math person. Don't worry, I'm not either. I've heard a teacher say to a child. Let's just pause on how fucked up that is. I'm not a special breed. These numbers are not my language. I see it for what it is, a symbolic representation of logical truth. Ain't that what we're doing here tonight? Taking some symbols we found and using them to show each other truth? You want to hear something that'll blow your mind? The equations for the force of gravity and the force of electricity are the same fucking equation.
No.
That's where the math is, in recognizing that parallel. Your bill for the coffee you bought tonight, that number, we call that a real number. Why? Because there are imaginary numbers. And those imaginary numbers are used to pump all that data to that device in your pocket. Did you know there are different sizes of infinity? That shit changed my world when it hit me. You intrigued at all? Some small bit? Congratulations, you're a math person. Do you feel any different? No? That's because math people are a myth.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Just shows to go. Your first time up. Got some stuff to stay. And that was good. Appreciate that, Ryan. Let's have one more round of applause for Ryan. All right. So, oh, look at this. This is so awesome. We have Eve. Are you a first timer up here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Eve?
Huh?
She's consoling Karen, who is crying.
Yeah, she's consoling Karen right now.
We have a consoling situation.
That's very poetic.
What do you do
Consoling.
in a consoling situation?
Oh, you're up if you're ready.
Eve, are you ready to rock the boat?
Sure.
Awesome. You go around the back and come in. It's just protocol. No worries. Are you the first time up?
That's perfect.
Hey, do you guys notice she's styling for the first time up? You got okay?
She's
Right?
kind of losing between.
Okay, so this is cool because I didn't talk her into this. I asked her if she wanted to, and she was a little sketchy. She didn't have something to but she's going to do something for us.
Entree food.
Come on. Hey, oh, there's no vaporizers on the stage. I don't know if that's a rule we have yet, but let's start. So, this is so cool. This is improvising right now. This is cool. Watch.
You can do it. What do you eat?
There was a purple sky. Ooh, a purple sky. And on that purple sky, there was orange clouds. And beneath that purple sky, there was a black tree on top of a very, very, very tall hill. And underneath that black tree, there sat a rock, a massive rock, but very, very small at the same time. It had no color, it had no soul, but it had a voice that not many heard. But if you could, it would tell you to look in the hole underneath where it lay. A hole that reached so deep, so dark, it even went beneath the waters of the land. None would see where it lay outside of the one who spoke to the rock and who decided to venture beneath the waters. But for those who did, they would find a man that didn't say anything but sat there quietly in a meditation. And who knows how long, but it doesn't really matter. For on his forehead there would be the golden dot. And you would be invited to travel within that golden dot, but only you, and only if you wanted to. And if you did, you would feel a love that you have not felt ever before. A love that made you burn inside, but made your outside tingle as if you were in an ice cave with a cool breeze running right over your bare skin. And this love would slowly drive you insane till there was nothing left but a shell of a man or a woman who once lived in a different world. That was number one. How'd that one go? Now let's see if I can pull a number two from within my brain space. Cigarette burns! Cigarette burns on my soul, for I do not smoke. I wake up, I go to sleep, and then I lay, remembering the days that then paid me a wage that killed me for making food that would eventually kill every single one of you. Your ignorance was my bliss. Your ignorance in shoving down what I prepared. But I didn't know exactly what it would do to you, because, you see, it was their trick. Their trick, which you cannot know until you lay. Cigarette burns on my soul, for I do not smoke. I walk through the crowds, so many people, so many faces, as they would say, so many different snowflakes, all so special, and yet also weak, trampled under them beneath the feet of the giants that walk the land. Taking the small, for the small don't matter, even though the small make up the blood that pumps through the giant's heart. And it will bleed, and it will bleed, and that blood will dry on the ground. Cigarette burns on my soul, but I don't smoke. I walk through the crowds of the people who once ate the food I prepared. It would slowly kill them for a wage. And slowly and will surely, if not already, have killed me as I lay and remember walking through those streets. Cigarette burns on my soul, but I don't fucking smoke. That's number two. Number three, everybody. Maybe do one more.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, cool.
2 minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes. A 2-minute. Let's see. Bunny, bunny, little bunny hopping down the street. Bunny, bunny, little bunny hopping across the street. Bunny, bunny, little bunny hopping into a home of faceless people who sit in front of a little machine. Bunny, bunny, bunny hopping out of that home. Bunny, bunny, bunny hopping into a yard that was no more than what people once thought when they saw a green space with a little red dot. Bunny, bunny hopping away from me. Bunny, bunny never coming back. Oh, how could this be? Bunny, bunny, what will I ever do when I finally find you? Bunny, bunny hopping across the fucking world, and, well, that's the end.
No, you're not.
no guts, no glory. Let's have another hand for Eve, that was. And for those of you that have been here before, you know it's time for the 7th inning stretch. That means everybody gets up. And everybody stretches it out to get ready for the next 6 poets.
Wow, really? Andrew? Oh.
Because performance poetry is as physical as it gets. Okay.
Football. Performance poetry.
With that said, we all know that if we want a cup of coffee, the best coffee in town, the only best cup of coffee in town, because there can only be one best cup of coffee in town. Or tea, or chai, or food, or whatever. It's out front. You can go order, pay for it, come back here, and it will be delivered to you like you're in a restaurant or something. Awesome. Means you don't have to listen to poetry. Run out in between the poet, make your order, run back, catch all the poetry. We're here to do poetry, and we're here to buy coffee and stuff because that's what makes the whole thing work. Okay, with that being said, I am in the, well, here I am. An opportunity, and I'm not sure if it's going to be okay, but I need to go ahead and announce that James is going to come up on the stage.
Fucking A.
And the thing of that is, for those of you who don't know James, then you know you don't know what's coming. And if you've never seen James, you won't know what hit you.
James! Kick some ass, man.
Hold on. I have to kick the mic stand's ass.
Kick some
Kicking.
Halloween ass.
I love
Kick
that.
it.
21. Big year. Now you can get inebriated, drunk, toasted, wasted, tatered, legally fucked up. This calls for a celebration. Your best friend invites you to your own party. All the hottest hotties and most trusted friends are there. The music is pumping and the room is thumping. And this one strange guest has just been hiding out in the corner. All night they have been looking at nobody. They seem almost non-existent, like a rejected invisible friend. Within the first 5 minutes of your arrival, everybody has a shot of something for you. Whiskey, yes. Vodka, yes. Rum, oh hell yes. Tequila. Tequila. Bourbon. Gin. Scotch. It's your birthday, so you have to drink all of them. The blackout comes, but so do the important conversations that no one's spoken. Another 5 minutes pass, or at least it feels like 5 minutes. The disco ball crashes to the floor. The chandelier crashes after it. Everybody is going home, but there is still that one person standing solitary in the corner, staring straight at you. With translucent, pale skin. You're still dancing among the broken pieces of the mirror ball. Best friend is still there, but they seem worried. You don't remember you're drunk. Why should they be worried? It's your birthday! Nothing can go wrong on your birthday! That's your mindset. Your best friend points at the lurid fellow in the corner. Do you see it too? He asks. Of course you see it too. It's just an awkward introvert. Nothing alarming. How long has it been there? What does he mean by it? Your best friend is walking you into the elegant, marble-top bathroom of these unknown person's luxury mansion. He turns the fan on and the sink on for some weird reason. You swear there's someone else in there with the two of you. Blacked out, you're throwing up, but you're also laughing hard, imagining people dancing in the toilet. The shower curtains open, then close. Out of the corner of your eye, you see the bloated arm. In the toilet, your delicious alcoholic puke spins into the sewer. Your friend is holding your hair back and wiping your face with an expensive Mr. and Mrs. Towel. Then your friend is pulling your hair, and the toilet roll is closer to your face. It flushes, and your face is wet again. Your face is wet again, and you blow bubbles up to the surface. The toilet flushes. Your friend's voice comes back, this time extremely alarmed, but you don't understand what he's saying. It's your birthday! That toilet thing must have just been a weird tradition. Obviously it's not, but you're still trying to make it seem like it was. Stumbling out of the bathroom, you suddenly realize you're very alone, and your friend is nowhere in sight. Calling out seems odd, but you do it anyway. Friend! Friend? Where are you, friend? The sound of your voice is drowned out over the loud dubstep music. Sucks, it's dubstep. Nothing to freak out about, just the swirly, but still weird. Where did he go? You run downstairs, and there's only a handful of people. But that person who was standing awkwardly in the corner, oh, they're gone. Now you're not sure. Are you still drunk? Did someone slip something into your drink? Heavens, no. That person probably just went home, and so should you. But where is that right of yours? Did they leave too? Are you stuck in this huge house? Is there no other choice than to socialize with strangers? But they are all too fucked up to drive. That's why they're still at this shindig. Walking is out of the question. Find someone with a phone, call a cab. But everybody's phones are dead. And they're out of smokes. This birthday is starting to suck. Then miraculously, your best friend is right there beside you, his eyes bloodshot. His shirt and pants covered in dirt and grass stains. He nods at you, directing you towards him. He says you have to leave with him right now. You don't ask questions. When you're in the car, it doesn't start. Instead, it's rolling backwards, and the doors don't open. Happy birthday! Someone cut the brakes! In the rearview mirror, you spot a pale figure staring at you. Then, double collision. And you wake up in the hospital with a huge bill. Your best friend's dead. And this strange figure keeps showing up in the corner of your eye. In the scratchiest voice you hear, Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! I will follow you forever! Happy birthday! You. So it goes. 21's gonna be a good year for someone, but it's gonna be a bad year for you.
Change your and say you will not get paid for it.
Okay, so usually takes me a minute, and when I'm out in the audience, normally takes me 2 minutes. I gotta bring this home here. That was a closer. That was the closer on that poem. If all you were watching and listening to that, you might think about if you lost their attention in any way, that would bring it back at the end. Let's have another hand for James. And Dan, come on up here. It's not your first time here, right? Oh no, this is Dan. As a matter of fact, he had mentioned he was a little concerned following James, and he said, you know what, I ain't scared of following James. I got whatever I got's what I got. Exactly. You want to be with James, guys?
Actually, it's fun following James. You're all awake and ready to go. There was a moment when the clock was comatose. My brain weeded of all thoughts and concepts. Politics pulled carefully. Religion removed and composted. Priorities plucked and discarded. Selfishness of ego temporarily put in retreat. Just me and that suspended, silver-lined moment when it all made sense in some seamless way. And then the fucking phone rang. Me who laughs last writes the poem. I can hear my pencil say to the paper, "We've got to stop meeting like this." The paper replied, "I get your point." They both laughed. Then the pencil wrote, "I wonder what will happen next." On the paper I could read, "I'm feeling moved by your words and the suspense is building." Then I wrote, "They should both be quiet. I had something important to say." They both laughed and I went to bed. GPGD, the Great Pacific Garbage Dump. Hundreds of miles of plastic garbage, aged perfectly, floating serenely, as it is eaten by fish and plankton alike, on a gleaming full moon night, in the restaurant as she smiles while looking into the eyes of her lover and says, "This swordfish is delicious." And the reply, "Only fresh fish here." And finally, where else? Where else? Where else? I didn't write this. It's in your handwriting. My handwriting's unreasonable. That's why we know it's yours. No, I mean, I didn't consciously write this. I had no idea where it was going. I still have no notion of where it's headed. Really? Well, everybody knows where it's headed. That's so. Then where? Where? Really? The end. Thank you.
The end.
Andrew, shut up.
You shut up.
There you go. There's another Eugene icon. Read the poetry for
I'll
us.
start
Gotta
doing
love that. And let's have another hand for him. Okay? All right. So our next poet up, and this is once again this balance is working for me. We have a member of the opposite sex coming up. Woo! Star, get up here and do some poetry for us, please.
Come on! Member of the opposite sex, yeah!
I'm new here. I just moved to Eugene, and this is my first time ever performing in front of an audience.
All right.
Just to preface this, I'm from Chicago. I spent a lot of time there. I did a lot of rapping, and so that's kind of the style I go for. And I know it doesn't fit because I was raised a gutter punk, but it's just what happened. But
Oh, he's here.
Girl, 7 minutes. Go for it.
The desire of a feeling, of a quick brush of the hair, feels like a wish only craving for it there. It's not you, it's just was all the time gone, not even how we click and never get along. Fell in love and got smashed, but could still taste the cost of a distance that made this possible for this time to be lost. Blindly grasped for that always needed apparition, the lust in my head is just a constant repetition. Divine mortality is all I can comprehend, not enough time in the world to let my gaping wounds mend. Now I know who to trust, so thanks for the peasant. In a world full of love, you're a motherfucking peasant. I'm shaking, I'm sorry. Oh, think you got a profit from selling pills and stealing. I know you're gonna hang yourself with that leash, I got a feeling. I feel bad for your twisted sense of mind, makes your small ass brain unable to be kind. Gotta give to receive, everybody knows that. Karma comes for the tweaks, and that's just a fact. I hang around guys because they don't make a mess. Now scared to down, just fucking confess. See through the cracks of your home called hell. I ain't got nothing but my body to sell. I may be blunt, but I ain't a little liar. So sit your ass down, you ain't nothing to admire. I know I'm a psycho and proud of it too, because in a fight I'd end little shady bitches like you. I promise, wait no, so go find your preacher and make a confession. I promise, dear Father, deceit is my only profession. She's an expert, you see, she studied for years, took her a whole semester for those fake ass tears. Woo!
There you go. First time up to the stage from out of town, bringing it. And, whatever I heard about not being to fit in, that's bullpucky because it fit in just fine. Whatever it takes is whatever you've got, so whatever you've got, bring it. Right here. Don't leave nothing at home when you bring it. All right, so Star, let's have one more hand for Star. Was she All right, so we get to do the real cool thing is we get to follow Chick with Chick. Yes.
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 And we have Mary Kate, who's not a first timer, and she is learning how to do performance poetry by getting up in front of this mic. And that's how you learn how to do it.
Woo!
Okay?
Come on, opposite sex.
Mary Kate.
Hey, one food paw, you're not gonna give me a lot.
He's trying to get the mic.
We'll never come back. Oh,
Yeah, it's true.
I think I'm alright now, is that right?
yeah.
Perfect. Awesome.
His anger gets away from him. He tries to hold it back. Loves it.
Can't hear you.
Kindles it inside. So he can aim it at me with scorching precision. But sometimes his anger gets away from him. It slithered out the door and down the front steps, scaring the shit out of the neighbor's cat. Sometimes anger is justified. When it put a hole through the bathroom wall and woke the neighbors, though, it went too far. It lurks here, even now, 10 years down the road. And it burns even hotter than the flames he owned.
Yeah.
Okay, I decided this next poem is derivative, but I'm going to call it inspired instead. It's called Ode to Sea. Rock me, tangle in your undulating arms. Hold me, a captive of your scent, your sound. Speak to me as mysteries inhabiting your heart. Let me see your lovely liquid soul. Take me when you pull away from continent and coast. Surround me with your subtle, salty squeeze. Teach me all I need to know of solitude and surety. Reveal to me a deeper, darker dream.
Wow! Nice. wasn't hot in here. It's a little hotter now, though. That was good. Focus. It's okay. See here. Let's have another hand for Mary Kate. All right. Bring it to the stage. And let's go ahead and round out. Let's do this girl thing one more time. Mo, come up to the stage. Sex, chick, this is what Eugene. I don't know. Let's do this. Ready, go.
I feel like the designated driver tonight. I picked these little date poems. Oh, dude. Okay, first one, paradigms. I feel like I'm begging. You feel like I'm nagging. Paradigms. Pair of nickels, pair of dice, snake eyes. Blow hard into cupped hands, shake like crazy overhead, fling fast on the table, slam against the edge. What numbers face up? Love is a crapshoot. And now you want to know that I'm a girl. Nana's favorite color. What's your favorite color, Nana? My 6-year-old grandson asks, as we pick clover for chain necklaces. Periwinkle, I say without a moment's thought. That's not a real color, he answers, his head still bent in concentration, sweaty hair flattened by the midday sun. Yeah, it is, and it's my favorite. It's a lot like cornflower blue, I add, feeling ornery and young. His brow wrinkles deeper as he stares into the afternoon sky. That's weird, he proclaims with certainty. It is? My eyes open wide. Oh, good. Even better than periwinkle. Definitely periwinkle.
Poetry, that was poetry, that was poetry. And that's what we want up here. Let's have another hand for Mo. Okay. Next week too. And oh man, this is a great night. I'm really feeling it. Everyone's doing a great job tonight, and we're rounding it up here. We're getting to our end, and we have two of our most infamous poets saved for last, and they both, you know, I don't know what to tell you other than the fact that when Karen gets up here, because she's coming up to the stage right now, she's going to do something for us that we don't know what she's going to do, and maybe she might not know either, because she don't have a piece of paper on her phone or whatever.
I don't know where I'm going to.
She's just going to take it to you. Okay? So if you're near, I want you to really listen close to Karen. Do you want to hold the mic, or do you want to read off the stage?
I'd like to.
Watch out. Stay on the stage and don't get in the speakers.
I'll go.
See, this is a real live mic.
No camera going tonight, huh?
There's a camera.
Oh, there is. I did.
All right, let's give it up. Let's do it.
All right. First of all, I wanted to get by with a little help from my friends, but I'm going to save that time for the poem instead. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I'm getting hearing aids in a short time. What?
Talk more into your mic there.
Oh, okay. I'm not talking to the mic. Okay. I'm getting hearing devices next couple weeks, so I'm happy about that. The Lions Club is helping me. So, you know, there's some awesome people out there. We're them, they're us. We're all the same kind of creatures on this earth anyway. You know, I consider the fact that ant is just as important, that its life is just as valuable as my own. And even smaller creatures than that, if there are any. You know, if we consider the fact that it isn't right that anyone should suffer, including myself, and that's what I'm going to talk about right now. So these words that are coming out of my mouth are just coming out of my mouth, they're not on paper. Instead of buying a 6-fingered shotgun in my mouth once more, I choose to stand an illusionary figure of time and space. I agree with you, but then again, I agree with the voices that tell me I am worthless. So therefore, I have a choice, and I want to step on this carpet of time that Aladdin and all those other guys, whom some people do not like, but for some odd reason, they see someone from Palestine different than someone who owns a kosher bakery. So where is the difference between myself and the ant, I ask? There is none. There is none. You can accidentally kill a bug, but when you kill it on purpose, you are stealing its life. Likewise, the ham sandwich that you eat. Is it fair that any of us should suffer? Is it fair that I should suffer? Do you think I paid my dues? Do I have to inflict pain on myself on a daily basis, moment by moment, excruciatingly tearing the skin off my bones? Do you think it's right that that girl over there should be in pain because she's just plain lonely? Or that old man, or that woman, or that dog, or that cat, or that beaver? For God's sake. I don't want to suffer, but I inflict pain on myself. I don't know why. Maybe the 51 years of in our mental institutions has paid a price. I don't know. But the point is, I'm here. And for some reason, I don't know what this state is. I don't think I'm alive. This is all a mad dream. We're each having a mad dream right now, envisioning something or other that I can't comprehend. Maybe so. But am I dreaming you? You dreaming me? What's going on? I have no idea. I only experience my dream that I'm having right now. But somebody else's dream because I'm dreaming it that he's having it, that she's having a baby. Well, I mean, whatever, doesn't matter. I'm standing here and I'm an illusion. I'm not real. I do not exist. You exist because I can see you, but the ones out there that I don't see, they exist more so, perhaps. This extraterrestrial, intergalactic, universal message, rather, that I seem to think I'm a part of. Because on my last minute breakdown, I stood in front of the, the cabinet of the United States, and out of my mouth comes the Secretary of State saying, "Don't use a revolver, we need her." And I saw myself on a platform wearing this jacket, and I said to the audience of millions of people across this planet elsewhere, I told them, we are equal beings. And I spell that E-Q-U-A-L, equal mark, B-E, equal mark, I-N-G-S. That's my comprehension of what it means. And if I don't treat myself equal, if I don't see myself as equal as illusion as you are, that I can put my fingers through it or something like that, it doesn't really matter. I'm an artist. I've suffered for my art. Isn't that enough? Do I have to keep on suffering? For God's sake. And where are you? I don't see you. You're here and there and everywhere. I don't know who you are. I don't know who I am. And I say I'm going to be a messenger for you because I was born on the 30th of January. And that was a day in 1549. Charles I was beheaded by our Cromwell. In 1987, FDR was born. In 1931, the Third Reich was born. In 1946, Gandhi was assassinated. I think I'm a little confused. I mean, I really don't know where I stand, but you brought again the poet was born on my birthday. So who is your birthday is significant because you were born on your birthday. You, all of you. There is no one who was actually conceived the same second or born the very same second at the planet. Elsewhere, maybe. Who knows? But we are here. And yes, I'm naked.
Bring it home.
Thank you.
Bring it home. You got 1 minute. Bring it home.
Oh, I got it done. Thank you.
There you go. I'm not sure exactly about when I was born in relation to whoever was in office and running something, but I start to think about it. That's scary. Karen, let's have another hand for Karen. That, you know, actually, she left it out there, and she wasn't on YouTube. You gotta be up here to be on YouTube. You go down there and leave the screen.
Oh, that's okay. They saw me once, so.
Yeah, and they heard you, and that's what it's all about. And so, listen, we get to bring this evening to a close, and I have to go ahead and just say real quickly that I appreciate everyone that showed up, and including our audience, our poets, and this opportunity was given to me by Kit, not forced upon me or coerced into it. He asked me if it would be something that I'd do. I could have said no. He asked me if I could say no if you don't want to do it. You know, honestly, folks, it's an opportunity. It's a privilege. Okay? And because there's a difference between being out there and partaking and being up here and bringing it. I got to bring it. You guys got to bring it. But I got to keep bringing it in between you. So, yeah. But I'm not kidding. And if you miss him, good. If you miss him and you're hoping he's going to be back, I'm going to do this one more week next week, and then he's coming back. And this isn't my show. This is Kit's show, and he's providing it for be your show. And if you think about it, miss him because you're supposed to. Okay? Because the man has something that he's sharing with you. And that's big. It's in my book, it's big. You know, I've been working with him for years, and he was partly a mentor to start out. And, you know, I just want you all to know that he's missing you too, but not as much as you think, because he's like, you know, like he looked at his equipment sitting there and think, I don't have to go set that up this week. So, yeah, he needed a break. So, 6 months, and they took a break, and that's more than fair. Yeah. And if he comes back and does another 6 months, that's a year, and a year doing this thing, and y'all showing up to make it happen is big. Yeah. That's a major deal. And there's plenty more room in this room for more people, and I suspect if this continues that we will have plenty more people in this room, and that will be good. So, with that all said, I want to bring up our final poet tonight, and you all know of him. It's
Andrew.
It is Andrew. Yes.
You all know of me. Hey, we are Equal Illusions. I love that. Thanks, Karen. I went out on a limb. I wrote an esoteric philosophical poem.
Really?
Yeah, can you fucking believe that? So this is called Eternal Recurrence. Death is the elephant in the room we spread our tablecloth on to drink tea and have conversation. We talk politics, poetics, and philosophical antics like phantasm pirates dining on a sunken ship just east of the Atlantic. We have already died.
but are living out our lives as if for the first time, and cackle as we die in the fire crackling behind in the hearth. The turbine blows, our souls know how to keep a secret. We have woken up many times before, and fallen asleep again, and dreamt that we were awake, and go about the ever-long day of one life, anticipating the night. We are the light we walk into, and the darkness all around, and circumspect, the spirit inspects the ground we tread of insects, no less than soul, no more than flesh, no less than will, no more than instincts, no more than dirt, no less than God, no defects to correct, but artistic embellishment envelops thick, perfect hopes, elaborate intersects to write in fonts instead of plain characters, paint and plant founts and plant in flames to pull front the ocean and the sky up to my lips and lean over to give you a sip, then kiss with wet lips lit up by it, the drink in my cup, the life that's on tap. We are imbibing ancient substances without expiration date. Adam drank from this, Abraham drank from this, Vishnu drank from this, Buddha drank from this, Jesus drank from this, Muhammad drank from this, Joseph Smith drank from this, God and us drink from this, and we and they shall drink again as eons come and go without witness to attest the multiple circles that have passed from rest to unrest and detest to rest unnoticed again. The blessed substance is the same. The waters we drink and ripple effects from biosphere to atmosphere, from geosphere to hydrosphere again, from mental sphere to heaven sphere, from sphere to sphere, and here again to there again, and here I can stand at the beach. Forest behind me, before that a city, I hear ocean before me, and beyond that many continents akin, doting at the scape between two systems of life with their own histories, a grin of what they've seen, and how many things they, like clay, molded over and over again have been. When after then heavens birth these twin havens for humans to find homes as it happens in again, thrown into the hearth fire to start over again. We walk in with them and purge the dross from our skins again, and lost within men's competitions that they should imagine their talented actions could supersede the repetitions, that their abilities are anything more than the orbits of planets and snowflakes of seasons and occasions for liaisons to intercede between time and space, and thereby make the film eternal all to come, possibilities, actualities, repetitiously, unendingly, the undying flame. This is not the first time this poem has been written. This is not the last time you will occupy right now. Look up to the skies and see the clouds form and dissipate, and think of that through infinite past and picture future plants, the seeds for life of which exist inside to make us switch a million times. The planets and persons not accept, but part of this they germinate, and wait late for harvest to be ate by fate, and mate with death chime in once more. All possible combinations, all possible rhymes and situations to love and hate, destroy and create, be sane and deranged, fail and succeed, the growing lore. Read these as prearranged unfolding letters for read. The decades like the ages, like the seasons, like history, like untold millennia, memoirs re-remembered again, like you and me. How many times have we seen I into thee, thee into me, and been what? In these scenes to each other's newborn eyes. How many times we mistake to take our slivers and call them sculptures or scriptures and miss the services of predators, malefactors, detractors, retracting protracted tracts of tracks that tick but no longer attract pacts between life forms beneficent. The cycle of rebirth and death in the carcass, the pack omnipotent, ignorant the signatures of the craftsmen, statutes omniscient, and the boats we're on, statues about to resurrect, and us live our little lives again, omnipresent, and I'll sit across from you and dine on this elephant from India and comment, I've never tasted anything like this before, but it seems so familiar. And between ambiance and you there, I nearly call it divine.
I asked him if he was going to be able to keep it under 7 minutes, and he said he practiced it. And it's only 5.5 minutes. I think he went too fast. It was okay, you know, I can keep up with it. Some of you, does anyone know what omnipresent actually means? Just checking. Omnipresent. Oh, hands up, omnipresent.
Omnipresent?
Two people know what omnipresent. Oh, I was going to ask .com, but I figured you guys will have to go and look it up and ask .com yourself. Here we go. Again. We came.
I came.
And we conquered.
Yes.
Okay? And we get to do it again next week. And I hope you all show up for next week and bring it, because you get 7 minutes of low grade